Perhaps the most revealing moment in the week-long media extravaganza over John McCain's death came on September 1, when Meghan McCain, daughter of the late senator, chose to use her eulogy to rip into Donald Trump. Here's how the Washington Post set the scene. Trump is absent and his name never invoked, but the entire service was animated by a sustained rebellion against the president's worldview and his singular brand of politics. "We gather here to mourn the passing of American greatness," she said, gritting her teeth through the tears. "The real thing, not cheap rhetoric from men who will never come near the sacrifice he gave so willingly, nor the opportunistic appropriation of those who lived lives of comfort and privilege while he suffered and served." Okay, we get it, Miss McCain hates Trump so much that she has to grit her teeth when she talks about him. Trump and his supporters already knew that, of course. And as an aside, we might note that the good news is that in making her hatred so evident, Miss McCain surely kiboshed any chance that Arizona Governor Doug Ducey would appoint her to fill her father's Senate seat, as some, even some who bill themselves as conservative, have suggested. We might linger over those last words, burst into applause. It's worth recalling that this was supposed to be a funeral service, and yet Miss McCain turned it into a kind of political rally for the establishment and for what it sees as the good old days. Ah, for the good old days of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Mitt Romney, George W. Bush, and John McCain. The days when the establishment, for sure, was great, or at least greatly in charge. Meanwhile, a parody account called Stephen Miller quipped, Donald Trump wasn't invited to John McCain's funeral, because Republican presidents are usually not invited to Democrat campaign rallies. In fact, it's not surprising that imperial grandiosity plays well in blue Washington, D.C., and in New York City. After all, it's fun to get rich and noble from imperialism. What's less fun is to be a legionary from some red state, slogging it out in a hostile land, all for the sake of someone else's ideological empire. Yet most of all, the establishment is raging against the dying of the light. Amidst the hot lights and the hot rhetoric of the McCain funeral-turned-festival, the elites know that this is their political twilight and that dusk is giving way to nightfall.